All right, everybody, looks like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and take the iPad back and get the 128 gigabyte model. So I thought I'd bring you along. All right, boys and girls, we're on our way back to Best Buy to replace the iPad 32 gigabyte with the iPad 128 gigabyte. I really like this new iPad. It definitely does everything I needed to do for media consumption, like for media consumption like Hulu or Netflix or other programs like it, also Prime. It works really well. And the other thing I've been doing with it is editing videos. Now, many of you know that I have dilated cardiomyopathy, which is a birth defect, and unfortunately it has impacted my life quite a bit. So it's harder for me to hold and manage heavier devices. So this tablet's probably as light as it'll get, and I was actually able to edit on it. No, I'm not going to give up my editing computers. I have the ThinkPad P1 and I have the Ryzen 2700X. I'm definitely going to continue using those. So I love Linux, and to me Linux is much more intuitive, and the editor in Linux, Kdenlive, is definitely full featured, where the iMovie editor that I'm using on this tablet is very basic. So anyway, we're on our way. We'll be there shortly. All right, Gadgeteers, we made it. If you hear me huffing and puffing when we walk in, that's because of my dilated cardiomyopathy. It actually causes my heart to only function about 10% of what it's capable of. But anyway, let's go in here, get this iPad returned, and upgrade it to the 128. Hello, I got an exchange. Thank you. Oh boy, vinyl. Garth Brooks. Definitely getting my steps in today, which is a good thing. I keep getting worried that I'm covering up the microphone. Anyway, I gotta go back and talk to one of the reps and get my exchange iPad, which is awesome. The 128 gigabytes will make quite a difference. Waiting for them to appear so I can do the exchange. This is the iPad Pro 11-inch. Kind of outside of my budget because I would really want to get the 256 gigabyte. It's actually on sale right now for $100, so if you can get in, you can save $150. The screen is beautiful, I will say that much. I'd be a little bit concerned about the bending issue. So if you don't know, the chassis on this is so thin that they've been having problems with it bending, especially at the magnetic point here where the Apple Pencil connects. That's just a plastic insert there. Beautiful though. Now they may be having more problems with bending on the 12-inch model. The videos that I've been watching, it's almost always the 12-inch model, so maybe it's not an issue with the 11-inch.
This one's going to be thick. This one's going to be...
All right, this is the model that I picked up. You know, I really can't tell all that much of a difference with the screen. This one seems to be really nice, even though it's not the laminate screen that's on the Pro.
Okay, well, I'm about ready to jump in on these maps.
So this iPad, the Pro here, seems to be pretty strong. I don't know how people are bending them. I'm thinking that they're not using cases and putting them in a bag or something like that, and it's causing it to bend because it seems pretty strong to me. Not quite as strong as the older version, but still decent. I need a new Lenovo like I need a new computer, right? Not really. The ThinkPad P1 works great for me, but this is beautiful. And of course it's got the new Lenovo soundbar that's supposed to sound absolutely fantastic. But I really should get out of here before I buy something else. Lower price C740, $800. And the ThinkPad L380, very small, not too bad. 256 gigabyte SD, i5 8250U, 8 gigs RAM. So this is kind of a middle of the road price point. I think I'll stick with my ThinkPad P1. All right, got the 128 gigabyte model. So we're good to go. Time to head home and set it up. All right, let's start with some gratuitous book porn. If you love reading, check out some of those books up there. Now, got the iPad here, and we're gonna go ahead and unbox it since I didn't unbox the original 32 gigabyte edition. I'm gonna swivel down here, and I have already cut the plastic on the back. Now, there really isn't that much to what's in the box anymore. And it's interesting because pretty much all the products that come out anymore have a white box that looks pretty. And, you know, people call this the ultimate presentation, but I don't really see it that way. So, in traditional unboxing form, we have the iPad itself. Whoops, sorry for the bump. And we have a cable here. Now, of course, I save everything because you never know if you're going to want to return it, which in my case I did. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside because I don't need it right now. In here, we have some very basic one-page literature, the warranty, and some stickers. Not a whole heck of a lot. You remember the good old days when you used to get a huge manual with stuff that you bought? Of course, we have the power supply. Let's check and see what the wattage is on this power supply. If I can get it out. It is output 2.4 amps. And this is a lightning connector power supply. Well, the cable is, I should say, because the connector on the power supply, of course, is USB. But what I typically do is, since I have an iPhone, I just use this power supply for both of them. Of course, I have the other one as backup if I need it. So let's set that stuff aside. And here's the money shot everybody likes to talk about. So let's see if we can do it right. There's the iPad. There's the back. Beautiful. We're going to pull the plastic. And a little bit of static electricity. Slide it out. Make sure you're grounded when you work with computers, of course. And there's the back showing the iPad. I personally would have rather had silver than slate gray, but the reason I got this one, or whatever they call it, I think slate gray is something Lenovo calls it. The silver one has a white front bezel, and I didn't like that at all. So, of course, on the side here, we have the power button, and then we have the rocker for volume up, volume down. We have the connector for the lightning cable. We have stereo speakers on the bottom. And if I want to, I can get a keyboard for this. I can get the Apple keyboard, or I can get a third-party keyboard and connect it using the 3-prong connector here on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and turn on the power. You do have to hold it down for quite a long time, I've noticed. However, the weird thing is if you hold it down, while you're holding it down, it will not actually turn on. So you kind of have to guess what's long enough. If you don't go long enough, it won't power on. If you go too long, it'll be waiting for you to let go of the button so that it can power on. So here we have setup. So let's go ahead and go through setup. I'm gonna see if touching the screen will initiate. Nope, you gotta hit the button here on the bottom. I do like the home button. I'm not used to it anymore because I have Face ID on my iPhone, but I still like it. Well, let's see, do we have a device nearby? Yes, we do actually. I wonder if it will use my phone if it's right there. All right, we're back. So it took a few minutes to get the iPhone working. I had Bluetooth turned off, so the setting that allowed it to actually, I assume it's Bluetooth between the iPad and the iPhone to do the setup, didn't work, so I had to reboot the tablet and have a little fun. So terms and conditions, well, you can't use the tablet if you don't agree, so I'm going to agree. Settings from your backup, and we will disable location services for right now. I don't want Apple Pay at all, and I guess I'll set up Siri. Let's see if it'll work. Yay, we got Siri already. I'm excited. I'm not going to share my analytics with anybody. You know, it's like they don't want you to hit don't share, so they make it difficult, and basically you have to hit it several times to actually get it to accept it. But share, the share button is really huge. Makes perfect sense. Okay, so it'll be a minute to get the restore from iCloud. So this is the 128 gigabyte Apple tablet, the 2019 128 gigabyte edition. I'm going to take it in the other room, put it in the case, and hopefully shortly here it'll be set up. It says about 1 minute, so decent internet connection to do a restore from iCloud. I have quite a few apps, so hopefully it'll get it done pretty quick. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, give a like and share if you enjoyed it, or drop me a comment. Let me know if you didn't like it. I'm always happy to hear good and constructive comments. And I want to say thank you, of course, to all my Patreon subscribers and to all of you who take the time to comment. I really appreciate it. Have a good one.